Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing The Punch. Nima had a story?
Okay, so a recent analysis of data obtained from JAM showed that 6.9 million candidates sat for UTME exams between 2019 to 2022, and only 2.3 million of them got admitted, leaving 4.87 million candidates who failed to secure admission. Among them, 4,385 students who scored above 300 in the exam, in the required 400 score mark, were waiting for admission. About 4,385. They listed, the story continued to list, the years, each year's breakdown, but they had said JAM was blaming some factors which was not mentioned in the article. I read thoroughly to see if I could find some of them, but the large corporates, the universities,
not able to
doing their post-UTME exams and further downsizing the numbers and denying students admission.
But also they don't have enough space to admit. Most of the universities, especially the federal and the state
priority is given on merit basis.
I know.
Even when we went to school, we didn't meet cutoff. I don't even meet cutoff because we're struggling to meet. For those who had 300 above, they were given admission no matter what.
But now, it's not JAM that determines the admission anymore.
That's the point.
There is now
post-UTME. I would like to see how that is cleared out.
So
I have another human interest story here. Mother of two, Junwa Okechukuma, was electrocuted on Wednesday evening while her two children, identified as Louis and Onyinyechi, are currently battling for their lives in the hospital following a spark at an electric transformer located inside the market in the Mowe area of Ogun State. They said some members of the communities had told Punch that they visited the market in the morning and 3 people had died, including a pregnant woman. The state police command said only Okechukuma was electrocuted and 5 others were injured. So according to the story, they said the incident was as a result of the fact that the DISCO had come, the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, had come to warn the shop owners of the electricity cables that had fallen on the different roofs of the shops, and also warned them not to display their wares very close to the electric poles. And then by the time they went back, after the rain fell, that was when the wires and the pole fell. They went back and they brought back electricity, and so the people who were around the place were now, electrocuted, and it affected them. And it's just a painful story. I don't know.
So I have a story on the NNPC, the false scarcity in the country. The queues for the premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, green was in Abuja and neighboring Nasarawa, Niger states on Thursday, as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited blamed the development on logistics issue, but was quick to state that it had been resolved. But there's still scarcity. And as usual, once there is scarcity, once there's fuel scarcity, some filling stations will sell, while some will not sell. Then the ones that are selling, they will increase their prices. So now some have increased their prices to 700. The ones that are selling at 617 per litre is the NNPC filling stations. They are the only ones that are selling at 617. But then they have long queues in them. And also they are now asking that they are now saying that the commuters are complaining that there is now hike in the cost of transportation, and then the scarcity is still increasing. But there's scarcity here in Lagos as well.
Scarcity, so let's just say there's alleged scarcity to stabilize.
But finally, let me not say finally because it's not good news. It's depreciating now, and in the parallel market, it's at 1,420. People buy at 1,309. But they've come to give us this explanation. CBN is saying is there too much demand for dollar. That's the cause of this depreciation. And we got to know.
Just resume.
Yes. So that brings us to the same question we are saying. Some schools charge in dollars, and most of the things we even do with dollars in Nigeria, we shouldn't be doing it. We shouldn't be here. And then recently we heard that CBN gave out $15.83 million to about 1,580 3 bureau de change people for this kind of transaction.
Availability of it.
And now the question is, why do we have so many bureau de change people? Why do we have them?
They reduced them. They
reduced it, but then they're still calling for more reduction in the size of these people.
Let's move on to the Daily Sun. A major headline: more hardship as telecom companies plan rate hike. Data voice services to be affected. Reshuffle cabinet to balance equation for Southeast ministerial appointments. Ex-police boss tells Tinubu. IPOB denies attacking northerners in Southeast. Abia North. Kalu deserves our support. Commendation. Ex-Abia Deputy Speaker. 119 inmates escape as rainstorm destroys prison in Niger. 10 recaptured. UK supports Nigeria's fight against malaria with £1 billion. While making progress against scourge, according to the federal government. Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road demolition of structures begins tomorrow. Federal government terminates 121 billion naira Abuja-Lokoja Benin Expressway contract. Ondo Guba, Ajayi emerges PDP candidate. Aida Tiwa false claims of rigging of APC primary. Ganduje appeals to aspirants to work for APC electoral victory. Airlines spend 46.8 million on expatriate quota in 2 years. What stories do we have in this line?
Okay, so for this story on UK supporting Nigeria with £1 billion to fight malaria in Nigeria. You know, yesterday was World Malaria Day, and they had the team accelerating the fight against malaria for a more equitable world. So we know that our major issue as regards health challenges, one of it is malaria, and so they've given us £1. They've pledged to actually support us with £1 billion to actually fight malaria, and they are projecting the purchase of mosquito-treated nets, you know, sensitization and all that. Some states, they said, they are more malaria prone than the others, so our government should be able to know what state deserves better malaria attention and treatment and all that. But it's a good thing that the UK is actually supporting Nigeria, especially this time where we know that we need a lot of support as we can get so far.
So I have a story here. The plan by telecommunication operators in Nigeria to hike tariffs for data and voice calls said it appears not to have gone down well with Nigerians, warning that any move to further impoverish them will be resisted. The planned resistance is coming on the heels of the joint statement released yesterday by the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria, ALTON, and the Association of Telecom Communication Companies Nigeria, ATCON. They said they are urging the federal government to consider them having a price hike after 11 years free. So they've not been allowed to increase their prices for over 11 years now. And they're saying that they need, you know, in the face of the inflation, the economic hardship, they need to also maintain the business. They need to also get proper infrastructure to upgrade the business. And if they don't increase the hike, a lot of them may be shutting down. So it's been on and, you know, for and against. Some persons are saying that this is not the time to even increase any tariff at all, because people are going to be having it hard. So we are paying more for fuel, we're paying more for diesel, we're paying more for electricity, and now even the data that gives us life, we want to pay more. So I really don't understand. What are the stories?
Another worry for me is the cancellation of the 121 billion Abuja-Lokoja Benin Expressway. So this expressway, as in Obasanjo time, that they have awarded it, the Abuja-Lokoja Benin Expressway, as is a way that serves how many states? Over 3 or 4 states, and will relieve a lot of things, but it's still in a bad state. Last year it was re-awarded, and the contractors are Mother Cat, Dantata, Soe, CGC, CECC, Julius Berger, and RCC for different sections of the road. But the Minister for Works has, you know, cancel, all of you cancel, you know, because he says that there's arrogance on the part of the contractors, because you get on site and you see that the contractors just put their signboard, but there are no machines and personnel for the work, because they are waiting for approval from a country. You can't hold another country to run that. This contract that was awarded then was 121 billion. It's been reviewed to 877 billion, yet work no be start. So he says he also discovered that certain sections of the road cannot survive with asphalt, and he's working asphalt and is working with them. He has gone to the FEC as well as the BPP to ensure that, they approve that they are concrete roads. And all of this, when you call 17 contracts without having any requisite skill, any equipment, no personnel to execute the job. And when you try to invite them to talk about it in public, they wait for approval from their nations or nationals, from outside home countries where they are from, and says, you can't continue to treat us that way. He says there's a lot of arrogance on their part. My own worry is that when this is re-awarded, he has given them the right of first refusal, based on this cancellation, to come back and bid for the contracts. Yeah. But if they should be with immediate. Anybody that have material ready to work, they are contractors within the country. Yeah. Let them be allowed.
Yes. I like what the minister is doing. He's really fixing most of the roads. And
another story in
Vanguard.
So I don't know if we have time to take this, but let me read the major, the front lines. This is Vanguard. LP PDP kick as US report says 2023 poll mirrored Nigerians' will. Boko Haram sacks military camp in Niger, bandits attack emir in Zamfara. Who has that story? Then we have another one, Okoma community shun house committee's investigative hearing.
Okay, I have Okoma community because it's where the 17 military personnel were killed. Yeah. So the Baba Jimmy Benson led committee that is investigating and holding a public hearing in Delta State went to see the governor yesterday, and yesterday sitting no community member appeared. They also extended it to today. But then in another report, the leader from the community speaking anonymously was saying not only were they not invited, they will not come because they believe that government is treating them as wicked. They have left their people in the bushes. We need to find a middle ground for this and resolve this at some point. Yeah. These people want to come back home, so also government wants the matter resolved. Yes. Yeah. So when the government starts a committee, it's important that those committees are attended. Yeah. And the committee has also assured that, yes, they have also assured that, they just want to get as much fact-finding as they can, and there are no arrests that will be done, just to clarify.
So in Niger State, it's just the reoccurrence of bandits attack in some of the states. And this one, they said the Boko Haram insurgents yesterday, they sacked the military base at Alawa town in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. And the most notable stuff on that story is that there were about 200 bandits, at least different bikes. You can have like 3 of them. They said about 3 people on a bike, 200 bandits attacked at 1:30 a.m. Wow. So shooting at houses, and they even wanted to capture the emir, but he was whisked away to safety.
Wow.
So these stories don't go well because it's really saddening to see that insecurity is really still deep, and
our major problem is insecurity.
Yeah. All right, thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.